You know, life has this incredible way of surprising us. One day you're just moving through the world, trying to be a little better than you were yesterday, and then suddenly the universe hands you something extraordinary, something that makes you stop, breathe, and feel grateful in a way you didn't even know you could. I'm becoming a father, and that simple sentence, it changes everything. Not in a dramatic, explosive way, but in a quiet, powerful way. It's like love found a new doorway into my life, a deeper kind of love, the kind that makes you want to rise, to grow, to protect, to become the best version of yourself. Because now, it's not just about me anymore. It's about a tiny life, a tiny heartbeat, a tiny future that's going to look up at me and call me dad. And I want to be worthy of that love. I want to be the kind of father who shows up, kind, steady, present. So today I want to share this journey, not just as a man preparing for fatherhood, but as someone discovering a new meaning of love, love that's bigger, softer, stronger, and profoundly human. I never imagined that a single moment, a few quiet words, and a soft realization could change the entire landscape of my life. But here I am, standing inside a feeling that's both overwhelming and beautiful. I am becoming a future father, and the weight of that truth moves through me like a warm current, steady and transformative. It's strange how life works. You walk through ordinary days unaware that something extraordinary is waiting just beyond the next sunrise. And then suddenly you're entrusted with a new purpose, a new kind of love, a new reason to become more than who you are. When I first learned I was going to be a father, it wasn't thunder or chaos that filled my mind, it was silence. A deep, calming silence that felt like the world pausing just long enough for me to understand that everything ahead of me was going to be different in a way I couldn't define but could deeply feel. It was like the universe simply whispered, "This is your moment to grow." There's something profoundly humbling about realizing that a small life is forming, a life that will someday look into my eyes with trust, with curiosity, with innocence, a life that will depend on me, not just for protection or guidance, but for softness, for comfort, for connection. And that thought alone opens my heart wider than I ever thought possible. I've felt love before, yes, but this love, this is a new language, one I'm just beginning to learn, a love that stretches beyond my own needs and becomes a promise, a responsibility, a silent vow to be better than I was yesterday, to be patient, to be compassionate, to be present, to be someone worthy of the tiny heartbeat that will someday be loud enough to fill my entire world. I find myself thinking a lot about the future, about small hands wrapped around my fingers, about sleepy eyes that glow with trust, about the first smile, the first steps, the first time those little arms reach out toward me as if I'm the safest place on earth. And I think about the quiet moments too, the ones where I'll sit in the stillness of the night, listening to soft breathing, watching a miracle resting in the dim light of a new beginning. These thoughts have a way of grounding me, reminding me that life isn't just a series of days, but a collection of moments that shape who we become. And this moment, this chapter I'm stepping into, is shaping me in ways I didn't see coming. But that's the thing about love. Real love, it doesn't always announce itself with noise or spectacle. Sometimes it arrives gently, like a soft knock at the door of your soul. And when you open that door, something in you expands, becomes tender, becomes aware. Becoming a future father has awakened that tenderness in me, a quiet strength I didn't know I had. And it's teaching me to look at the world differently, not as a place I simply move through, but as a place I will soon introduce to someone who will see it all for the first time. I think about all the things I want to share with my child one day. The way sunlight feels warm on the skin, the way laughter can soften even the hardest days, the comfort of being held, the magic of discovering something new, the importance of kindness, not just in big moments, but in small ones too. How listening matters just as much as speaking. How love isn't something you chase, but something you nurture. And above all, how every person carries a story and every story deserves understanding. These aren't lessons from books or speeches, they're truths I've learned slowly, sometimes painfully, often quietly. And now, as I prepare to step into fatherhood, I find myself wanting to pass these truths on, not perfectly, not flawlessly, but sincerely. Because sincerity matters, heart matters. And being a father isn't just a title or a role, it's a connection, a privilege, a responsibility to show up in ways that require courage and vulnerability. To admit when I'm wrong, to try again when I fall short, to grow alongside the child who will grow because of me. That thought alone reshapes me every day. There are moments when I sit alone and think about what kind of father I will be. Will I be patient enough, gentle enough, strong enough to carry the weight of someone's trust? Will I be soft enough to hold their fears without making them feel small? Will I be wise enough to guide without controlling? It's easy to imagine perfection, but reality reminds me that fatherhood isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's about trying. It's about being there, even when it's hard, even when I doubt myself, even when the world feels heavy. And maybe that's the most important thing I've learned so far. Love doesn't require perfection. It requires honesty. It requires heart. And becoming a father is teaching me that the greatest gift I can offer is my authentic self. Flawed, learning, growing, becoming. A self who is willing to hold love not as an idea but as an action, because love that's lived is love that's felt. And I want my child to feel loved in ways that echo long after words fade. I also think about the person who's walking with me on this journey, the one carrying the life we created, the one whose strength is quiet but fierce, whose love is both gentle and powerful. Watching her move through this chapter with courage and tenderness fills me with awe. It reminds me that this journey isn't mine alone. It's ours. It's a shared path built on trust, support, and a kind of love that grows deeper with every small moment, every heartbeat, every change, every hope we speak in the stillness of the night. She is teaching me too, not through grand gestures, but through patience, resilience, and the way she holds life inside her with grace. And I find myself inspired not just to be a better father someday, but to be a better partner now. Because a child deserves a foundation built on love, and that foundation begins here, with us, with the way we choose to show up for each other. As the days move forward, I feel a quiet anticipation growing in me. Not the anxious kind, but the kind that feels like standing on the edge of something beautiful. A horizon filled with unknowns, but also with light. A future that isn't defined yet, but one I'm ready to step into with open hands and an open heart. I'm learning to let go of the fear of not being enough and embracing the truth that love guides growth. And as long as I lead with love, I'll find my way. Maybe not perfectly, but genuinely. And that's enough. I imagine the moments where I'll read bedtime stories, my voice soft and steady, hoping the words drift gently into dreams. I imagine teaching simple things, how to tie shoes, how to ride a bicycle, how to speak kindly to others and to themselves. I imagine the first time I'll hear laughter that belongs to the life I helped create, and that thought alone brings a warmth to my chest that I can't fully describe. It feels like discovering a new dimension of love, one that's both grounding and uplifting at the same time. I think about the challenges, too, the sleepless nights, the uncertainty, the mistakes I will undoubtedly make. But even these thoughts don't scare me. They remind me that fatherhood is a journey, not a destination. A journey of learning, of stumbling, of getting back up, of trying again and again. A journey that will reshape me in ways I cannot predict. And I welcome that change, not with fear, but with gratitude. Because becoming a father is giving me the chance to grow in ways I didn't know I needed. There's a softness in me now, a tenderness that wasn't always there. Not because I was cold, but because I had never been asked to hold something so precious, so delicate, so full of possibility. And that softness doesn't make me weaker. It makes me more human, more aware, more connected to the quiet beauty of life. It teaches me to appreciate the smallest moments. The way time slows down when I think about the future, the way love deepens when it's shared with someone new, the way hope feels more real when it's tied to a tiny heartbeat that's still learning how to grow. I've started noticing little things more. The peaceful rhythm of breathing, the way the world feels early in the morning when everything is still and full of potential, the way love settles into the spaces between words. These small moments feel different now, like they carry a new meaning, because soon I'll be showing these things to someone who will see them for the first time. And that thought brings a quiet joy to me, a joy that feels grounded, real, genuine. Sometimes I find myself imagining conversations with my future child, not grand conversations, but simple ones. Conversations where they ask questions about the world, about life, about love, and I imagine answering not with rehearsed lines or perfect wisdom, but with honesty, with vulnerability, with the understanding that I don't have all the answers, but I'm willing to explore them together, because that's what connection is. Shared curiosity, shared growth, shared moments of discovery, and in those imagined conversations, I feel the depth of love that's already forming within me. Love for someone I haven't met yet, but someone who is already reshaping me simply by existing. And that's the beauty of this journey. Love doesn't wait for a moment or a date. It grows the moment life begins. It grows in anticipation, in imagination, in the quiet belief that something precious is on the way. I've started to think about legacy too, not in the sense of achievements or recognition, but in the sense of what remains in the heart of a child when they grow up. What pieces of me will they carry? What lessons will stay with them? What memories will they hold close? And I hope that among all the things they experience, they carry the unwavering knowledge that they were loved, deeply, genuinely, and without condition. Becoming a future father has opened a new chapter in my soul, one filled with love that doesn't seek anything in return, a kind of love that strengthens, softens, and humbles me all at once, a love that asks me to grow not for myself but for someone who will depend on me to show them what love looks like in its purest form. And as I stand on the edge of this journey, I feel grateful. Grateful for the chance to love in this new way. Grateful for the life that's growing. Grateful for the opportunity to become someone better, someone stronger, someone softer, someone who will give love not as an idea but as a living, breathing presence. When I think about where I stand right now at this point in my life, I realize something has shifted inside me in a way that is both gentle and extraordinary. I'm becoming a future father, and just saying those words feels like releasing a quiet truth into the air, a truth that's slowly settling into my heart day by day. It's not a loud revelation, not something that crashes into me with noise or chaos. Instead, it's something soft, like a warm wave that rises gradually and fills me from within. I didn't expect it to feel like this, so peaceful, so grounding, so deeply human. And yet here I am, learning a new kind of love before my child has even arrived. Becoming a future father is not just a change in title, it's a transformation of identity, of purpose, of the way I look at the world itself. It's as if life has placed a gentle hand on my shoulder and whispered, "It's time to grow in a new way." And I'm listening, I'm learning, I'm taking in every quiet moment of understanding that this journey isn't simply about welcoming a child into the world, it's about welcoming a new version of myself. A version shaped by love that is both tender and powerful. A version guided by responsibility that feels less like a weight and more like a calling. I never knew that anticipation itself could be a form of love. That waiting for someone you've never seen, never held, never heard, could fill your chest with warmth and hope. But that's exactly what it feels like. This love isn't built on memories or shared moments, not yet. It's built on possibility, on the promise of what will be, on the connection forming silently between my heart and a life still learning how to exist. There is something awe-inspiring about that, something beautifully fragile, yet unbelievably strong. Sometimes I catch myself imagining what it will be like the first time I hear that tiny heartbeat in the room's stillness. Not just hearing it, but feeling the presence behind it, the future behind it, the life behind it. I wonder what thoughts will move through me in that moment. I imagine a mixture of joy, disbelief, gratitude, humility. I imagine my breath getting caught for a second as I realize that what I'm hearing is not just a heartbeat, it's a beginning that I have a role in shaping, and that realization is enough to make even the strongest person soften. There's a tenderness that has begun to grow inside me, a tenderness that wasn't absent before, but one that somehow feels deeper now, as if a door in my heart opened that I didn't even know existed. I look at the world differently. I walk through my days differently. I feel emotions differently. Everything seems quieter, clearer, more meaningful. I find myself thinking about things I never paid attention to before. The sound of morning sunlight falling gently through the window, the peaceful silence of the night, the softness of a moment when time seems to slow down for no reason other than to remind me to breathe. All of these small details carry a new kind of significance because I know that one day I'll be sharing them with a child who will see everything for the first time. I think about who I will be when that day comes. Not who I should be or who I'm expected to be, but who I genuinely want to become. I want to be present, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I want to be a place of calm in a world that can be unpredictable. I want to be someone my child can run to, not because I'm perfect, but because I'm real, because I'm steady, because my presence will feel safe. I want to be the kind of father who listens, really listens, not just to words, but to emotions, to fears, to dreams, The kind of father who doesn't just speak love, but shows it, lives it, breathes it into the moments we share. I know I won't always have the answers. I know I'll make mistakes. I know there will be days where I feel lost or overwhelmed. But I also know that love isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, trying again, giving your heart 100 different chances to grow alongside the person who depends on it. And I'm ready for that. Maybe not completely, maybe not with flawless confidence, but with sincerity. And sincerity, I believe, is where real love begins. There's something beautiful about preparing for a life that will soon arrive. It's like standing at the edge of a sunrise. You can see hints of light on the horizon, but the full warmth hasn't touched you yet. Still, you know it's coming. You feel it, and it fills you with a quiet sense of joy that doesn't need words to be understood. I find myself experiencing that feeling every day now. A gentle anticipation, a hopeful stillness, a sense of purpose that wraps itself around my heart in the softest way possible. I think often about the little things I want to share with my child, the sound of laughter that fills a room, the feeling of sitting under a warm blanket on a cold morning, the joy of discovering something simple but magical for the first time. I want to show them how beautiful the world can be